They need more places for people to go. There's a lot of good people out here that kind of got put out here the same way I did, you know, and it saved my life and it saved a whole lot of other people I know. It's a good thing. It's a good thing for the community.
Hi, I'm Ashley Quadros, Development Director here at Hospitality House.
And I'm Chase Smiley, the Shelter Manager here at Hospitality House.
And we'd like to thank you today for joining us on a virtual tour to learn more about what we do here at our shelter known as Utah's Place. As Development Director, I'm responsible for working with the public, usually meeting you in person and bringing you behind the scenes to what we do here and why it matters.
Yeah, and here as a shelter manager, I think my biggest responsibility is really upholding the mission of Hospitality House. And we're really looking to provide that circle of caring here.
And you know, Chase, as you know, a lot of people don't know what we do here.
That is true, yeah.
And a lot of our work actually starts right on the street.
Our outreach team is the very first stop on what we call our continuum of care. It starts at the street level, at the camp level, navigating people into shelter, all the way to supportive permanent housing. We connect people not only with the shelter, but with mental health services, substance use disorder services, as well as a variety of others. And ultimately, our goal is to get people off the street and into the continuum of care so that they can ultimately receive permanent supportive housing.
Anyone who comes to shelter with us, this is where they start. And as we go inside, I do want to remind you, while you're not here in person, this is where real people sleep every single night. So remember, we're looking at people's homes, we're looking at where they sleep. Maybe it's for one night, maybe it's for several. So we are seeing a part of their life here. So come inside. We have 11 beds here. Now this room normally operates, again, as our outreach dorm, where people come in each night. You can come and go as you please. It follows what's known as a housing first model. And if you're unfamiliar with housing first, that means that you can come as you are, no strings attached, sobriety is waived. We just want to get you inside and offer you a stable, safe environment. And once you're here, then we'll work on taking those steps to get you back to housing. And so when this dorm first opened, it was snowing that week. And one of the guys at the door said, "I don't think I can come in. I've used methamphetamine." And we said, "That's okay, just come in." And he came in. The dye from his jacket leaked all over the floor because he was so cold, and he was exhibiting early signs of hypothermia. He ended up crying in the bed over there and thanking us because he said he was confident he would have died that night had we not opened our doors. This year we've opened pets as well, so now we have cats, pets, birds, you name it, that can come in here and also get help. It's part of lowering that barrier, making services accessible to help people. And you can understand why an animal would be particularly important when you have nothing left in the world. So normally when we're not in a pandemic, this is where our guests would come in. They'd line up coming right through here. And you can see there's tape on the ground. So again, for social distancing, safety. And so if I were coming in for tonight, I would come right here, I'd give them my name. And at this point in the rest of our shelter, it is mandated that you maintain your sobriety. It is mandated that you meet with your case manager and meet your goals. And you are required to breathalyze right here on the spot each day. And this is Chef Chris Fagan to tell you a little bit about what we do here.
Well, what we do here is we prepare and serve meals for our guests here at the shelter. We also take care of the guests that are staying out at the motels as well. Right now I'm preparing a small lunch for one of them, as a matter of fact. Another thing that we do here is I offer a culinary training program where I have the guests here. They come in and I teach them basic knife skills and basic cooking skills, and then we graduate them from the class. And we have a job placement program that we try to find them a job in the local community.
And Chris and his team here
Yes.
are cooking for every single one of those meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
41,000 meals in 7 months.
We have cleared 41,000 meals in 7 months. When I actually started here 2 years ago, one of the first guests I saw was just sitting here in this chair, and he had a therapist who was actually working on his broken leg. And he was actually the victim of a really terrible assault out at Condon Park, where teenagers shattered his leg, and he was left there for 6 hours before anyone bothered to help him. So he was not at that time sheltering with us. But the beauty of that program is because he didn't have anywhere to go, he was released into our care, where he was able to rest in this room, get the care he needed, and not walk on that broken leg. So recuperative care, this is a partnership with County of Nevada and Sierra Nevada Memorial Hospital. And what this does is if there's somebody out who's unsheltered, who gets injured and ends up in the hospital, and they have no place to go, they are released into our care, where they can rest, recuperate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with on-site medical that's brought in from the hospital, and that includes wound care, physical therapy. So what this program does, rate of recovery goes up, hospitalizations go down.
All right, as you can see, we've done a pretty good job to space it out as best we could. Like I said, we have 28 bunks in here. If you come this way, you can continue to see how we have introduced these tarps to create more privacy in the dorm. Keep moving this way. Have our beautiful windows. If we keep moving here, we got another one of our guests here. His name is Danelle. Danelle has, offered to tell a little bit about his story and give us a little insight of what it is like to be here at the Hospitality House.
When I was working, I just couldn't do the things that I used to be able to do anymore, and I started going downhill. So I decided to retire from my job and take a year off and heal up and go back to work. But so I lived off my 401k.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have done that, but I did. I was thinking I was going back to work, but it never got better. It just got worse. And before you know it, 4 years go by, and I'm flat broke. And I got sick a couple times. And then the last time I really got pneumonia real bad, and I couldn't do nothing. Ended up in the hospital. And the next thing you know, I'm here.
Wow.
But I'm glad this place is here, though. It's been a godsend.
Hey Chase, thank you. I asked one of the guests earlier what I should say on camera, and they said it was really important to remember that this is not just the ladies' dorm, that each bed is someone's home. And as you can see, it truly is. Each woman keeps everything that they own on their bed. Or they have a storage unit, or they have family, but mostly this is what you're seeing is everything that many, many years have become their treasures. And you have ladies at all different ages, from 18 to 72. Some of them are in navigating cognitive impairment. So we have sundowning at the same time that we also have people who are really tired and want to go to sleep. It's also been incredible to see the community that they've created, and they've become each other's family.
I will say we go through quite a bit of laundry. It's always going, most of the machines, every day, all day. And guests have rotation to use these machines to keep as clean as possible. And of course, with COVID-19, sanitation is really important. Now, before us right here is our smallest dorm of all. It is our family dorm. It has just 4 beds in it, and I welcome you to go ahead and walk inside. And this little room will style flex to fit the family. So whether we have a newborn baby, a toddler who needs a bassinet, teenagers, toddlers, you name it, this will accommodate children in this room. As an employee of Hospitality House, I have to say this is probably the hardest room to be in. It's not only the smallest for me, it's the most emotional. because the reality is there were homeless children. And I think that's the most important thing to understand here, is that you see a bassinet, well, it's not just a bassinet, there's a real baby that sleeps there. So for me, being a parent and having a 4-year-old, I can tell you that one of the hardest parts is when you have a 3-year-old little girl living in here who celebrates her 4th birthday. It's a big milestone, and we're fortunate when that happens that the little 4-year-old doesn't know she's in a homeless shelter. She believes that she's just in a loving place that wants to celebrate her. So that's what we did. For her 4th birthday, we didn't just decorate this dorm head to toe in pink balloons, we did the entire shelter. Because at 4, she just wanted a pink party. Well, that concludes our tour of Hospitality House's Utah's Place, our physical shelter that we operate here in Nevada County. We hope you learned a lot, and we hope you're ultimately going to decide to join forces with us and support our cause and our mission. I invite you to visit us at hhshelter.org to learn more about us, or you're welcome to stop by with your support and donations as well.
Thank you so much.